always play that role of a PM, even if you don't have that tag. Even if you are working as a salesperson, a developer, or a QA, always have that tag of a PM by yourself. I thought something and then I took that decision. Let's back that thought process and then go ahead. What will
Mhm,
happen? Max to max. Nothing. If you are using
mhm.
WhatsApp, start questioning it. If you are using Spotify, start questioning. Like, what is the revenue model of the Spotify? Just brainstorm that with the chat GPT. You might find a lot of insights or lot of questions, smart responses which you can answer the interviewer in that case. 30-35 plus reaching out to the people on LinkedIn and then getting 10 interview calls. Can you see the level of rejection? The HelloPM from rest of the crowd, that is the mentors over here, they do not take you for granted. They are like, if you are paying us money, questioning, ask the questions till the time you understand, till the time you get that sense of an understanding. And then after that also, the ability to make someone transition from one profile into the another profile.
Hello everyone, welcome to another video where we'll be going through an amazing journey of Ganesh, one of our alums at HelloPM. His journey from QA to product management will be really helpful and inspiring for many. So let's first of all welcome Ganesh. How are you?
First of all, thank you so much, Akash. I'm doing really good. What about? So I'll start from the right beginning. So I have done my BSc in computer science. So I have a sound technical knowledge, you can say. So it was a bit of easy for me to pursue a career or a job profile into the IT sector. So that was something a plus point for me. And then initially I started my journey as a QA, that is the junior software tester in one of the broking firm. And then I was a junior software tester for around 2 years, and then I switched from that company to my current one. I was working as a QA engineer for around 1 year, and then I transitioned from QA into the PM in the same organization itself, even though that was a bit of challenging at the start. We will go deep into that, definitely, for sure. But yes, I transitioned from QA into the PM in my current organization itself. And now I am a product manager for around 2.5 years. And it's been almost 5.5 years working into the same domain, that is the capital market domain.
Perfect. Amazing. Now I'm curious to know when you started with QA, what actually led to the transition into product management?
So I was an exceptional QA, I can say. I was really good into finding the bugs or suggesting the improvisation pointers for any specific features or modules. But meanwhile, I was also keen on knowing the why of the product, because as a QA, you always focus on how. That is how this feature works, how this test case is going to break down the system, how this is going to impact the user. But also I was also focusing on the why, like why this feature, why the user even need this, why organization need this. Even the seniors in that organization kind of impressed with that approach, and with that approach it helped me to transition from QA into the PM. And also I was having that kind of, you can say, that kind of a product sense, not that well matured, you can say, but I was keen on getting into the why of the product. So that is where the transition happened. And the greatest learning which I would like to share here is that even before you get a tag of a PM, always play that role of a PM, even if you don't have that tag. Even if you are working as a salesperson or a developer or a QA, always have that tag of a PM by yourself and start pretending, okay, if I was a PM, then what would I have done extra? So that is something which really helped me to make that transition a bit smoother.
Let's say team members also that motivated you or inspired you to get into product management?
But since I was a QA and I was mainly onto the manual side, the manual testing, I always used to think, what's next? Then senior QA, then QA lead, then what's next? That I could see in the next 2, 3 job profile, you can say, in the 2, 3 designation, which I never wanted. And that never excited me. So I was like, okay, if I am really good in asking if I am really good in understanding the domain, understanding the product, going deep, not only finding the bugs, but also improving the product team and the organization to help the build products in a better way, then why not a PM? Then I approached my senior, the head
Mm,
of the product. I said, okay, boss, since you are impressed with me in my QA role, give me a chance and get into the PM domain. And then let's see what happens. He was a bit skeptical at the start, I can say. Then he was like, okay, let's give it a 60 ratio, where
mm,
initially you will be having the 60% of a QA and 40% as a PM. Let's see for a 3 months period.
mm,
And then he immediately threw an assignment to me, and
mm,
was big module. The independent working skills of mine was going to be tested in that product or that feature, you can say. And surprisingly, I did pretty well. And that module is still the most revenue building source of the entire platform, even after 2 years. So I right from the product discovery, research, ideation, validation, user interviews, multi-stake environment, GTM. I handled all these aspects of the product even before I was not even knowing the terminologies, you can say, not even actually knowing the detailed concept of these things. But even I got hands-on experience. Okay, this is something which I can really do. And then after 3 months, I was like, okay, I can do. And then even the head of product was like, okay, you can now, let's give it a try for the 100% PM role.
mm,
Then here I would like to add one more point. Since I was not holding any sort of product background, product certification, education, nothing as such, the pure transition from QA to PM into the current organization. But still, there used to be some people not from the team, but someone from the other team, you can say, or out of the organization, where they question your skill set just
mm,
because you do not hold any such product degree or educational qualification.
mm,
They question you even before knowing your skill set. So that was something which I never liked about it. But then I took it as a feedback. Okay, there could be something which I am missing out during the transition period. Then I got it. Okay, there are a few of the basic fundamentals, even though I covered a bit in those 3 months, but there were a lot of fundamentals which were missing, which I thought, okay, I should cover it right now. Because if I carry that baggage with me, that is going to be hell lot of trouble for me in the future. And
mm,
then that was the point where I approached Hello PM. And I did not approach you directly, I'll be very honest. As I said, I was having that QA tag by myself even before becoming a PM tag,
mm,
even before becoming a PM. So I did a lot of competitor analysis of yours, went through their sites, did couple of calling to them. I listed down all the pros and the cons, but then there were few of the factors which really stand out from rest of the crowd. That is, the mentors over here, they do not take you for granted. They are like, if you are paying us money, questioning, ask the questions till the time you understand, till the time you get that sense of an understanding. And then after that, also the ability to make someone transition from one profile into the another profile, that hand holding piece, that mentorship, that really stand out from rest of the competitors of yours. And then I had a word with Ankit as well. He was like, he did not give that weird kind of a vibe. He is someone like, he will comfort you, he will make you calm, he will make you compose, and then he will like, okay, this is not something which you should do, but you can give it a try for this thing. So
mm,
all this minute detailing, I really liked about it. The attention to details which you guys provide, that was outstanding. Not only for someone who is the beginner into the PM, but also for an experienced guy like me who hold the experience of a QA or small experience of a PM like for 3 months. Even somebody like me, it was a kind of a detailed product, gaining the product knowledge from you guys. So that these things really helped a lot in covering those fundamentals, you can say. And
Got
then nobody dared to question the skill set which they used to do it earlier. Okay, I had the hands-on experience. Okay, I had the fundamentals clear now. Okay, I had
it.
the product qualification, the certification as well. So this is like now a complete package to me. Now this is something really boost my confidence.
Got it. Nice. I think the aspect that you mentioned, that when you internally transition and you were doing the some aspects of product management, you were questioned about your skills. You don't hold the prior product experience, right? That is where you actually wanted to gain learnings by actually enrolling somewhere and learn, right? And that was your key purpose.
Yes.
I want to understand you, let's say, when you decided to internally transition, right? What was the journey? Like you mentioned, you received an assignment, but if you have to, let's say, talk about in a nutshell, that okay, if you were supposed, you have to go back and do it again, or if you have to discuss it in a way that if you could have given it like a roadmap to someone, let's say you are a QA, and this is how you can internally transition.
So first of all, almost like it is very much necessary to have that self-belief in you. Okay, that is the first step. If you believe in yourself, definitely you will make a good attempt, at least a good attempt. So that is the point number one. Second, know the product which you are going to work on in detail. Whatever questions are coming into your head, write down it, because writing those things will help you get more extra questions which might further assist you with few of the more detailing part. So, yes, writing down the questions, writing down your doubts, and get them solved by your seniors. Because if that is going to be your first assignment, it is very necessary to keep your seniors into the loop and then ask them if you are on the right track or not. And whatever feedback comes into you, research it, make your homework a bit strong, do a lot of practice. Lot of books materials are available, lot of research study materials from the HelloPM as well. A lot of frameworks, I can say, jobs to be done, there are frameworks, and also the mom's test for the interviews which Aditi even recommended during her sessions. Those were the things really helped me a lot during those 3 months to understand at least the basics, to get the things going and then achieve that target. Definitely, you will have sleepless nights, you will have some frustrating moments, you will doubt yourself if you like, even if you are doing pretty good enough, but still there will be days like, okay, let's not do this, okay, let's quit, okay, let's get back to the QA, because that is somewhere, that is something your comfort zone, the QA or the previous role. Do not go back, I would say, because even I had thought like going back into that previous job profile, that was the QA, after having a lot of struggle into my PM journey. But then I was like, okay, I have taken that step, I thought something, and then I took that decision. Let's back that thought process and then go ahead. What will
Mhm.
happen? Max to max, nothing.
Mhm.
Job chali jayegi, you may find some other job. Okay,
Mhm.
that is the maximum thing which can happen. Then let's give it
Mhm.
a try. If not now, then never. That was the only thing which I used to say to myself.
Got it. So you actually reached out to your senior that, hey, I've been doing good in my current work and I want to actually work in the product team, right? Let's say as a good task, you worked on it. I want to understand you did not try or look for opportunities externally, like outside your organization, or you just thought that, hey, let me first get things done internally and then I'll see. What was your thought process? I want to understand.
Yes, a, a, a good question, I can say. I had a thought of exploring the opportunities outside the organization, but then that would really be very risky for me,
Mm.
because new people, new organization, different approaches. So I had to deal with a lot of other things simultaneously, apart from handling the product wala struggle, which I knew I am going to have to go through it. So I just did not want to face those struggles as well during that transition period. So I was like, okay, I want to concentrate fully on this transition phase itself. So let's make it the inter transition, you can say, in the organization itself. That helped me with a lot of things. Like I was working with the people with whom I was comfortable with, whom they know, they trust me, they know my capabilities. I do not have to prove them again, which is in the case going to happen if you look out for the opportunity outside the organization. That proving yourself, starting from the zero all over again. So that is something not that, then the sleepless nights will turn into the nightmare, you can say. And then definitely somebody might go back into the previous job profile. But again, being said that, that is something was my assumption. Like these things could happen or could bother me in future. But if the organization is accepting you for the transition from one company to another company, from one profile into the PM, if that organization is accepting you for that transition, then definitely they will back you at least for a time period. They will test you, they will help you out because you cracked the interview. They saw something in you, they must have seen your assignments, then they shortlisted you, then couple of round of interviews, and then they hired you. They knew that you do not have any hands-on experience into the PM, but still they have that sense of a trust. So definitely they will give you a chance, at least for a 3 to 6 month, to test you out.
I'm curious to know, let's say you internally transition into PM, right? You mentioned that how why you chose the internal transition, but then you also started applying externally, right? After that, after probably a year or a couple of years, right? So
Yeah.
what actually led to that and how was that journey like?
Again, it was like proving myself because the transition period is something, again, you can say that favored me because I did that transition in the same organization itself. So I wanted to push my limits, you can say, explore the other opportunity which I could not get in the current organization or felt like it's done now. Bas, ho gaya. There is nothing beyond that. So for that purpose, I decided, okay, now let's switch the organization and see how things work as a PM into those organizations. Is it going to be the same or is there going to be anything different? If it is something different, then definitely it is going to be a learning curve for me as well. And then, as I said, I was here for around 2.5 years. I worked into the trade applications, mutual funds, and then I'm continuing that same domain in my next organization also. But as I said, there are other couple of areas as well, which this organization may not have that focus on, but that new organization may come out with something new to learn. So that was the only reason why I made that transition. And then during
Got
that
it.
transition, it was again a hell of a task. That interview process, because since I transitioned internally, and then I had to jump into that pool of the interviews and then applying for the jobs, cold emailing, calling the HRs, and then submitting the assignments, not hearing back from the HR again for 3 to 4 weeks, for 3 to 4 months, continuously sending the follow-ups, still looks like a dead end. This is something, a total different experience which I had this for the very first time, I can say. And this was the point where I realized, okay, Hello PM is like a savior to me, because not only they helped me to give that guidance, but they also helped me with the mock interviews, with the tips and tricks, how to tackle the tricky questions, how to answer smartly, all these things, right from the resume building to the job applying, having 2 3 resumes handy, and then tweaking the resumes and the cover letter with the specific job profile you are targeting. All these minute detail, as I said in the very beginning, these are the very minute things, but it really matters a lot to bring that change. That is where the Hello PM really shines. I can say definitely for sure.
That's wonderful. We are happy to know that, Ganesh. You talked about Hello PM being part of your journey when you felt that, hey, I need to actually gain certain things, awareness about things which I might be missing, right? So you mentioned you did a lot of, like you compared a lot of places and then you actually chose Hello PM. I want to understand what were some key highlights in your Hello PM journey, right? Because your purpose was to build those skills and at the end, you also wanted to move to another job.
Yes. So first of all, the mentorship which you guys provide. I still remember it was the first assignment, the introduction of the product management module which Ankit was taking. And I still remember he gave us a couple of product and then he asked us to make a tear down of it. And then he actually gave a feedback to each and every presentation to all the cohort members. And not only the feedback, but in detail feedback, like what went missing, what you could improve on. So
Mm.
again, those one-on-one mentorship really amazing. And another thing is throughout the Hello PM product management course, there were two, three sessions which were damn amazing. It was the Aditi of the user research module. She is bang on. The way she conducts the user interviews, the way she pulls off the insights from the user just by having a normal conversation. The user may not even feel like he is being interviewed for certain tasks, but still, with the help of those conversational details to pull out the insights which will benefit us. That is okay, those 4 to 5 sessions that were really bang on. I simply loved it. And then again, the introduction part where Ankit came. And then, as I said, he is very good in making everybody comfortable. Even before, like somebody who is very skeptical if product management is suitable for me or not, or like doubting yourself, he is that guy who will hold you strong enough. He won't let you down. And then we have other sessions as well, data analytics sessions. Even those sessions were pretty good. Then again, if you are getting so many useful sessions in just one cohort or one course where the fundamentals as well as the advanced of the product management is been getting covered, what else do you need? Covering the basics, going till the pro level, and then helping you with the interviews, resume building, mock sessions with the interview tips and tricks.
We're really happy that all of the things that you mentioned, your experience was really good. I think that's amazing. You mentioned just when you were talking about this that you did a lot of cold reach outs, right? You were not getting responses and you did some cases. So, can you take us through the journey when you were applying externally and what kind of challenges you faced and how you actually navigated through it?
The main challenge here is not hearing back from the HR or from the person to whom we are targeting our emails or LinkedIn messages. That is like dead end. What else can you do in that case? So here I will say, if you are applying on Naukri or on LinkedIn, if you see a job post, reach out to 3 to 4 people from the same organization, from the same team, and ask them, like, boss, this is the job post which your company has posted recently. So can you just refer me? So that is something like getting the easy access, you can say. Reach out to them on LinkedIn, message them, have a conversation with them. Definitely out of 10, 5 to 6 people will reply on that message. That is for sure, because Naukri is again something like, if a job is posted 5 minutes ago, you can see 100 plus applicants. And then you are like, okay, my chance is gone now. I am 5 minutes late. No, go and search for the same job on LinkedIn and search for those peoples on LinkedIn and then share your CV with them and then ask for the reference. That is something really helped me a lot. Even for this job which I have got in Motilal, it really helped me a lot.
Got it. So how many actually companies did you apply? And when you actually found out Motilal's offer?
Endless, I can say. I do not have a count. Around 100 plus cold emails, I can say.
Cold
uh,
emails.
cold emails, 100 plus cold emails. Easy apply is like nothing. I would have easily crossed 500 plus easily.
Mhm.
And then I would have approached around 30 to 35 people on LinkedIn for the same job. And then I got interviewed for around for 4 to 5 companies, I can say. I made it in the last round for 2 companies and then got rejection. And you can 500 companies, 100 plus cold emails, 30, 35 plus reaching out to the people on LinkedIn and then getting 10 interview calls and then going into the final round for the 2 organization. Can you see the level of rejection in this entire process? So I would just say don't lose out on your hope. Keep trying, and don't even wait for the perfect moment. Matlab, I am not fully prepared. I am waiting for that perfect moment. When I'll be fully prepared, then I'll start applying. Then I will go for an interview. Trust me, that moment will never come into your life. Never ever. There is no such moment called as perfect moment. Just go for it. There is no such big practice you can say by going for an interview. That is the ultimate solution which you can get. Go for an interview, that is the best practice. Go for an interview, that is the best experience which you will have, the best learning you can have. Start preparing for your interview, because once you start preparing for an interview, that is the time when you start referring your notes. You will start
Mhm.
referring all the videos, all the study materials. And then once you have around 10 interviews, then you also have that experience of pros, of do's and don'ts. What are the
Mhm.
things which you have to avoid in the next round or the next interview? So like this, you will keep on improving, but don't wait for the perfect moment. There is no such moment in life.
I'm gonna dig in a little bit, so sorry if I get those memories. Like when you were applying to these companies, were you just targeting similar industry where you have worked in, or you were like going all into any kind of PM roles? What was your strategy when you were applying? That is, these are the companies I'm going to be applying, or and then later on, I have one more question, sir.
Yes. So while reaching out to the people on LinkedIn, I was mainly targeting these should be the people who would offer me the job from my same domain, that is
Same
capital
industry.
market domain. Yes, same industry. So those 30 to 35 people to whom I reached out, they were from the same domain. And the rest, 100 plus cold emails and the 500 plus companies, there were just like random. I just want a PM profile wala thing. That's it.
Right.
Even if it is not from the same or same location, that is from Mumbai, even it is from Bangalore or even it is from Pune, I was very much okay with it. But I wanted
Mhm.
to have that experience because, as I said, until and unless you try it by yourself, you don't know what is the real struggle behind that thing, and you cannot pull out the learnings from that thing. So I would say those 100 plus cold emails really helped me in building the conversation with those 30 people to whom I
Mhm.
was reaching out on LinkedIn. And those 30 people wala experience helped me in those 10 interviews by having that one-to-one conversation with the interviewers. And then these are the experiences, the learnings which you carry forward with you. And then there is that point, okay, everything is now going good. And then a day will come where you will crack the interview with all the
Mhm.
experiences which you had, with all the learnings which you had. So that was my
Got it.
approach.
Got it. So you said you've got around 10 interviews, right? So were all of these 10 interviews shortlist you received via cold reach outs, or even normal applications got you?
Very few of them got shortlisted from the cold emails. Very few, like one or two. Most of them were from the LinkedIn apply, not the easy apply one, but the link which redirected on their job portal. So LinkedIn
Mhm.
was the platform which really helped me and reaching out to the people for the referral. So these two were the main areas which helped me in shortlisting for the interviews round.
Got it. Can you take us through, let's say, some of the interviews or the ones that you cracked, right, at the end? So what was the process like, and what were typically asked, or let's say the rounds and all that?
Okay, so I'll take the Motilal wala example itself. So I had submitted the assignment. So there was a use case which they shared with me. How can the product or the product manager tackle the emotional aspect of the trader? So that was a kind of a vague statement. So I was like, okay, let's break down this statement into the smaller pieces and then identify what could be the problem statement. First of all, validate it, like if this is the problem or not. And then I researched a lot on Google, on ChatGPT, and then I was like, okay, this is the real problem statement. And then I started brainstorming it with the ChatGPT itself because there is nobody in front of me to brainstorm. So I then brainstormed the solutions, and then okay, I was like building the assumption on the problem statement which I was given. And then I conducted the user interview in my current organization itself. I built a solution, I built the prototype. I put to them like, okay, boss, this is something which I have in my mind. And he was damn impressed with that assignment. So that was the key point or the bonus for me, you can say, which stood out from the rest of the candidates. And then it was the day when I had the first round. So first round, since it was from the same domain, his questions pretty simple. Tell me about yourself. What do you know about the stock market? Tell me about your experience. And then the behavioral question starts. Tell me something like you were in a situation where the stakeholders were not getting convinced by your solution or the product. Then how did you tackle that? And then there were pretty behavioral questions, I would say. And then again, before this interview, I had done the mock around with you itself, Akash. And then there were a lot of points which you mentioned, a lot of tips and tricks which you mentioned that were bang on. I was feeling like, okay, that was a kind of a question bank to me, even before getting the first round of interview. So that really helped me a lot just by giving you simple details. Okay, this is the job profile. This could be the JD. Even I did not had the JD at that time. He is going to be taking my interview. You had that much of details, but still from those limited details, you like gave me a lot of insights, lot of tips and tricks, which really helped me crack that first round of interview along with the assignment which I did. And then second round was like, it was just like at the focusing at the bigger picture, like at the organization level, like the leadership qualities, asking about the DAO, MAO of the existing product, how would you improve that? Then the strategic questions, what would be your strategy in building the application for the stock market domain in the next 5 years? How do you see stock market getting evolved in the next 5 to 10 years? So those were the high level questions. But then again, these were the points which we discussed during the mock interviews. And then again, I would say somebody who is going for the interview round, do chat GPT. Just give him a prompt like you are applying for this job. He is going to be my interviewer. What could be the possible questions which he might ask? Just brainstorm that with the chat GPT. You might find a lot of insights or lot of questions, smart responses which you can answer the interviewer in that case. So that is something really helped me a lot.
You mentioned you did mock interviews, right? So how many mock interviews you did?
I did two mock-up rounds with Kash himself and a couple of notes I referred to. I had given 10 plus interviews, in-person interviews or online interviews. So I had prepared a note like do's and don'ts. I went
Hmm.
through those pointers. Always have a script ready of whenever he asks you, tell me about yourself. Do not have a generic script. That is something like the first impression of yours. Always have a strong script, like a blockbuster script. Matlab, there is
Hmm.
no looking back. Like that person should impress at that moment itself. Okay, boss, he has something in him. So script preparation and then going through the reference pointers of your past experiences during the Hello PM sessions. If you had taken down the pointers, go through them. They even have the interview section wala page where you can find a lot of videos and the reference materials readily available. Just go through them a week before at least. So these are the things you should consider while going for an interview.
Got it. And let's say when you started the whole job search process and you got the offer for Motilal, what was the duration, the whole journey, starting to apply and then getting the offer?
It was for around 2 months. It
It is
took
two
around
months.
2 months is something like the average waiting period you can say. That much you have to wait.
During these 2 months, did anything was like a challenge for you that hey, this is starting to feel a little bit more difficult than assumed? What happened? What was going mentally at that time?
Yes, yes. I was like, even after doing so many assignments, going for the interview rounds, at least give me some feedback if I'm rejected, selected, or on hold. If you do not get any some sort of feedback, then that really demotivates you in a sense. But then again, you do not stop yourself. Keep applying for the other companies. Keep looking out for other companies. Don't just stop yourself on the hopes of getting a call from the HR with the same job. Don't do that. Don't waste that 2 months in a hope. No, don't wait. Just keep applying.
Amazing. Your journey has been really interesting. You started from QA, then you internally transitioned into PM by showing interest to your senior and then doing an assignment. And then, after working for a couple of years, learning things around product management, you then started applying for opportunities outside. What are those three tips that you would give to someone who is currently a QA or a non-PM looking to transition into product management?
The utmost important key tip which I would like to share here is, as I said, act as a PM even if you are not a PM. Don't wait for that tag. You yourself give that tag and start acting like a PM in your current job, because that is the point from where you develop that product sense in you, by asking the questions, by asking the why, by getting the fundamentals, going through a lot of research work, doing your homework, start asking, get that PM wala feeling right from your current role itself. Matlab, I will first do the course, I will go through the sessions, I will go through the recordings, then I will build the resume, I will build the portfolio, I will wait for the interview rounds, I will crack the interview, then I am a PM. No, that is not the case. You are yourself a PM if you are really looking forward to build your career into PM. Start acting like a PM, even in your day-to-day life. Start questioning the products which you are using right now. If you are using
Mhm.
WhatsApp, start questioning it. If you are using Spotify, start questioning like what is the revenue model of the Spotify. If it is the subscription, like why subscription, what is the subscription model, what
Mhm.
exactly Spotify is giving it to the users, what are the pros, what are the cons. Start questioning those things. And I think this is something which even Ankit has highlighted in his first session itself. Out 5 to 10 minutes in your 24 hours wala daily routine, and then start questioning. Pick up any random product. It can be anything, even if it is air condition, you can say. Start questioning it, like why. Then that is something like product sense starts building. So that is the one key point which I would like to highlight. Second thing is, if you are preparing for the interview, do not wait for the right moment. Do not
Mhm.
wait for the right time. Start applying, start preparing. Keep all these processes simultaneous. Do not get that FIFO wala method, first in first out. वो एक stack मत बनाओ. Don't go into the stack wala. Run those processes parallelly, and then definitely you will gain a lot of experience with a lot of interview rejection and call emails rejection, and then definitely one day you will land as a PM wala job, definitely. Third thing over here is, Write it down, whatever it is, even during the sessions, even during the observation which I have asked for. Act like a PM. Even if you are observing Spotify, take down the notes. Even if you are attending an interview, after the interview, take down the notes, start writing
Mm.
it, because once you start writing those things, your brain starts questioning things in an appropriate way, in a structured manner. That is where your structured thinking starts building, by writing down the things. So it starts from the very basics.
Mm.
So these are the key tips. And one more thing, if you are already doing some sort of a job apart from PM, like it could be sales, customer executive, anything, look for a transition. If there is an opportunity, look for a transition in your current organization itself, because that will ease out the rest of the aspect, like starting from zero, working with unknown people, building a rapport with them again. So these are the things which you do not have to face, where you focus on your PM journey.
I know it was possible for us to be a small part in your journey, and we believe that you keep on doing amazing. Yes, take care, man. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Akash. Bye.